Shalom and good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcasting to you from Jerusalem. And in today's headlines, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu calls on moderate Arab states to influence the Palestinians to return to the negotiating table. The U.S. chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Martin Dempsey, holds meetings with Israeli officials in Tel Aviv in a bid to ease Israeli concerns over U.S. arms supplies to Gulf Arab states. Syrian rebel fighters capture a major base from the Syrian army in the south of the country, not far from its border with Jordan. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said he hoped moderate Arab states could influence the Palestinians to return to the negotiating table. Speaking to a strategic conference in Israel's central city of Herzliya, Prime Minister Netanyahu blamed the Palestinians for the 14 months impasse in talks, but said he felt there was a chance to renew the process if the Palestinians could be influenced to do so.
There might be an opening because some of the Arab states silently agree with what I say, because they might be in a position to influence the Palestinians to adopt a more conciliatory and positive approach.
The U.S. brokered peace negotiations broke off in April of last year, with disputes raging over Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas's unity deal with the Islamist Hamas, which controls the Gaza Strip and calls for the destruction of the Jewish state, and Israel's ongoing settlement policy on lands the Palestinians want for their future state. France recently handed a working document to Arab League countries in preparation for a UN Security Council resolution that would set the exact parameters of new peace talks and a time frame of about 18 to 24 months to complete them. Prime Minister Netanyahu stressed, however, that only direct negotiations will bring about a final solution with the Palestinians.
The idea of imposing peace from the outside doesn't work anyway, but what it guarantees is, one, we'll resist it. Two, the Palestinians will not come to the table. Because if they can get starting terms that are unacceptable to any Israeli government and from which they can press their charges even more, why should they come to negotiate? I hope that they change course. But the Palestinians have a nifty trick up their sleeve. They refuse to negotiate and then get international pressure, sanctions, boycotts on Israel for there not being negotiations. It's a perfect catch-22.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu also reaffirmed his previous commitment to a two-state solution with the Palestinians, which Netanyahu made in a landmark speech in 2009, dubbed the Bar Ilan speech, after the university it was given from.
We don't want a one-state solution. I don't want a one-state solution. I remain committed to a solution of two states for two peoples, as I said at Bar Ilan. That's the only thing you clap for?
Earlier, Defense Minister Moshe Ya'alon said he did not believe a stable peace agreement could be reached with the Palestinians in his lifetime, one of the bleakest assessments from a top-level cabinet member since the talks collapsed. In other news, the U.S. chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Martin Dempsey, held talks with Defense Minister Moshe Ya'alon as the visiting head of the U.S. Armed Forces sought to ease Israeli concerns over U.S. arms supply to Gulf Arab states to deter Iran. At the start of the meeting that took place at Israel's defense ministry in Tel Aviv, Dempsey highlighted the close ties between the two allies' armed forces.
I've been over here 5 times. Your chief of defense has been to America, I think, 7 times in my time together. And so it's reflective of the fact that the issues that we confront and about which we have common interest demand that we have the kind of relationship that we have. I can't imagine a world where we didn't have this kind of relationship. I've been proud to be part of it, and I'm completely confident that my successor we'll maintain and even build upon that kind of relationship. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
The meeting took place hours after Israeli Defense Minister Moshe Ya'alon voiced concern that Washington's supply of advanced arms to Gulf Arab states to deter Iran could eventually challenge Israel's U.S.-backed regional military supremacy. Setting the stage for the talks with Dempsey, Ya'alon told a security conference of a need to maintain Israel's qualitative edge as it seeks increased defense grants from Washington. The United States uses qualitative edge as a rubric for ensuring Israel gets better U.S.-produced weaponry than its potential adversaries. Now, with regard to the Islamic Republic, the American Chief of Staff said Iran may use some sanctions relief on its military and its proxies if a nuclear deal could be reached, but he added that the long-term prospects were far better with an Iran that wasn't a nuclear power, and reassured Israeli officials that Washington would work to mitigate Iran-related risks with or without a deal. Now to Israel's northern neighbor, where rebel fighters captured a major base from the Syrian army in the south of the country, not far from its border with Jordan. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, which is based in the United Kingdom and monitors the war, said a nearby town and village had fallen to the rebels in addition to the base. A video which was uploaded to social media showed a man, purportedly a member of a rebel group, which declared the beginning of the battle to conquer the base.
وإن تنصروا الله ينصركم ويثبت أقدامكم. نحن لواء السبطين التابع للمجلس العسكري في القنيطرة والجولان. نعلن عن دخولنا بمعركة الأخذ بالثار والاشتراك في تحرير اللواء 52 النصيري بالقرب من مدينة الإحراق وتخليص أهلنا من جرائمه ضد الشعب السوري في حوراننا العزيز. والله على ما نقول شهيد. تكبير.
The southern region near the border with Israel and Jordan is one of the areas where insurgents inflicted significant defeats on Syrian President Bashar Assad's forces in the last 3 months, notably by capturing the Nasib border crossing with Jordan on the 1st of April. Less than 100 kilometers south of the capital, Damascus, the area is one of the last major footholds of rebel groups that are not dominated by hardline Islamic jihadists, such as the Islamic State of Iraq and Levant and the Al-Qaeda-linked group Nusra Front, although Nusra also has a strong presence in the area. Now to the West Bank, where Palestinian sources reported that a Palestinian man was killed last night by IDF fire in the Jenin refugee camp. They reported that in the course of activity to arrest wanted men, clashes broke out and the Palestinian was shot by a bullet in his chest. The IDF said that in the course of the activity by a special police force, a bomb was thrown at the troops. No injuries were reported amongst the troops. The force opened fire and later it was learned that a young Palestinian man had been killed. According to a statement by the Islamist Hamas organization, the man killed was a member of its ranks in the West Bank. Thank you for watching us. You can also watch us at TV7Israelnews.com or TV7.fi. For any comments, please send your emails to israelnews@tv7.fi. For more updates from Israel and the region, please join our Facebook page at TV7 Israel News. Praying for the peace of Israel and the peace of Jerusalem. I'm Jonathan Hassan. Have a Erev Tov, and we will see you again tomorrow at the same time.